Unacademy. Let's crack it.
Hello friends, welcome to Unacademy, India's largest online learning platform. I am Mohan K Team. I am a geophysicist, author and teacher. Friends, you can learn from top educators like me. You can see the pictures and names here. Friends, presently I am working as Associate Professor of Geography, Bangalore University. I have authored two books, Just Products Volume 1 and Volume 2 for Geography and Environment for UPSC examination. I have a teaching experience of 12 years and research experience of 15 years. I am also advisor to NDRF on geohazards. I have traveled to more than 100 countries as a geophysicist. I am an NatGeo certified educator and explorer. Friends, we are starting prime time. In prime time, we will be discussing all the current events related to UPSC examination. Please, I would like to introduce you Chandramouli sir for polity, Ravi Agrari sir for environment and science and technology, and myself Mohan Krishnamurthy will be teaching you geography and disaster management. So please make sure you subscribe to UPSC CSE Unacademy channel, friends, as well as our prime time. Make sure you watch our channel regularly. For any examination, test series plays a very important role. Without test series, aspirants will not be able to crack the examination easily. So we are introducing test series, friends. We have 28 tests as well as 56 tests, wherein we will be giving GS as well as CSET test series, friends. So with the help of these test series, you will be able to easily crack the examination. So please make sure you enroll for test series. We have iconic subscription, friends, wherein you will be able to get open house with the educators, study planner, personal coach, as well as mains question answer practice, friends. You will be able to study well. You will be able to address all the doubts whenever necessary. We have plus and iconic subscription, friends. You can notice 36 months, 24 months and 12 months tariff here. You can see the important slide here, friends. For plus and iconic, you can use my code MUPSC to get 10% discount. Friends, we are offering you loan for fulfilling your dream. We all know how difficult for students to prepare for UPSC examination when they have a financial constraint. So we request you to apply for loan with Unacademy, wherein we are going to help you to prepare for the UPSC examination. So we request you not to give up on your dream of becoming a civil servant. So we want all of you to succeed in this examination, friends. So please apply for loan so that you can continue your preparation without any hindrance. Friends, as you all know, in geography prime time, we are discussing all the important topics related to UPSC examination, prelims as well as mains. These topics that I am going to discuss here in prime time are very helpful for the students who are preparing for the examination. These topics will be covered in a small and concise format so that you can easily understand, locate them on the map. At the same time, you will be able to recall them easily in the examination. So friends, in today's class, I am discussing certain important topics. These are some of the important volcanoes, friends, that have been erupting for the last few months, and they are all in news. Some of the most important volcanoes in news I have selected. So please see the first one, Nyiragongo volcano. It's a volcano in Congo. Second one is Tonga Island volcano in Southwest Pacific Ocean. Then third one is Ambae and Ambrym in Vanuatu Islands. Tuya is a type of landform, volcanic landform. It's in news. Macronesia is a new word we have come up with. Macronesia for the island regions in the western part of Africa. Then La Palma Island, Canary Islands. So these are some of the topics we will be discussing in today's prime time, friends. First one. In these classes, I will be discussing you the current affairs, their location. At the same time, I will be helping you to understand what type of volcanoes these are and how they erupt and why they are important. So normally all of you know, when we talk about volcanoes, the first thing that comes to our mind is a huge conical mountain and a fire coming out of it. Correct? That is the usual imagination. But volcanoes are not necessarily like that. So volcano is a vent in the crust which allows the magma from beneath to reach the surface. Okay, so volcano is a heat and lava and gas emitting vent, friends. It allows the magma from beneath to reach the surface. So the word volcano is derived from a Greek word Vulcan. Vulcan is the name of a Roman god of fire. Roman god of fire, Vulcan. So these volcanic features, or when these vents emit lava, the lava comes to the surface, cools and solidifies and forms a cone like feature. So the name volcano. So volcan plus cone is known as volcano. So I will be discussing more about this in our geomorphology class. For now, all of you look at Nyiragongo volcano. This is a particular volcano which is in news, and it's very important because it is located in the East African Rift Valley system. Please notice the picture of this particular volcano, friends. This is the picture taken very recently in Eastern Africa. It is located in eastern part of Democratic Republic of Congo. Democratic Republic of Congo is a Central African country. Equator passes through this region, and this volcano is part of the East African Rift Valley, friends. I will be discussing more about this now. So please see what type of volcano. It's a stratovolcano. It's a stratovolcano wherein the lava layer and another layer is ash layer, again lava. So it's alternative layers of lava and ash. So the name stratovolcano. So it's also called as composite volcanoes, friends. I'll be showing you the diagram now. For now, you look at the Nyiragongo in the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo. It is part of the Virunga Mountains. I have written the name here, Virunga Mountains. The altitude of this particular peak is 3470 meters. Okay, so this is very important, friends. So let's see where it is located. So this is the picture of East African Rift Valley, friends. First, please locate, all of you, Africa map. Africa, all of you know it's the second largest continent in terms of area and population. Please notice Africa's location here. Okay, Africa is surrounded by Mediterranean Sea in the north, Atlantic in the west, Indian Ocean in the east, and Southern Ocean in the south. You can see here from last 22 million years, the Arabian plate is separating from the African plate. So this separation is the result of this is the Red Sea. So it's kind of a diverging plate boundaries, friends. So because of the Arabian plate diverging from African plate, it has led to the formation of a rift here, and that rift is occupied by a sea today called Red Sea. Okay. So this is the Red Sea formation, friends. Here for the last 22 million years, Arabian plate has been separating. Okay, so Red Sea has been formed. So now notice that this particular part of the Africa, that is eastern part of Africa, that is Somali plate. Somali plate is another minor plate separating from African plate here. Now because of that, the rift is widening now. Okay, so the rift starts from Mozambique in the south, all the way it continues. All the way it continues towards the north. You can see it is one of the longest rift valleys in the world. The rift valley starts from Mozambique in the south all the way up to Dead Sea in Jordan. Okay, Jordan, Israel, Palestine region, and it goes up to Lebanon, friends. So this is the Rift Valley. So Somali plate is slowly diverging from the African Nubian plate here. So Africa is splitting into two. So you can notice that here. So the convection currents coming from the bottom here, you can notice, causes large number of faults and fractures. Okay, you can see the magma rises through those fractures, forming dikes. Okay. So these dikes, you can notice, they supply the magma to the magma chamber. From the magma chamber, it rises up to the surface, causing the volcano. So you can see an image here, 3D image showing the faults, fractures, and the dikes formed because of the magma erupting through the lithosphere here. So let me show you how it exactly happens. So this is the core. We all know the core mantle boundary is very hot, the temperatures are very high. So the convection current rises from the core mantle boundary to the surface here. So these are the lithosphere, friends. So this upper part is called as the lithosphere. So lithosphere is the outermost shield of the earth. Lith means rock, sphere because of the three-dimensional surface. Okay, so three-dimensional earth surface is lithosphere. So below that is the mantle, and this is the lower mantle and core. You can see the convection current rises through the mantle. Since the convection currents are rising through the mantle here, these are called as mantle plume. Mantle plume. You can notice that mantle plume. Okay, as the mantle plume rises up, because of the heat, the convection current melts the plate from below, causing the rift formation here. So plate here you can notice along the boundary of the plate you can see a rift here. So the convection current slides the plates in either direction. Okay, so you can see a spreading boundary here is created or diverging boundary is created. As soon as the convection current spreads out, the plates are moving in sideways direction. You can see here. So these are called as diverging or spreading boundary. Okay, so I want you to notice this now. So this is the first stage of the convection current rising up, reaching the bottom of the plate. Here you can see large number of faults, fractures formed, and you can see the dike formation here, the magma intruding into the surface. You can see the magma is rising gradually to the surface, causing volcanic activity here. This is the first step. So this is in the first stage. Then second stage, notice that because of the convection current spreading the plate, you can see the diverging is occurring. Plate is melting at the bottom. As soon as it loses the matter, the part of the plate sinks down, causing the rift valley. You can see the rift valley formation here. On either side of the rift valley, you can see the volcanic activity. So in the third stage, you can see the plates are diverging. As a result, you can see a linear sea is formed. This is the Red Sea case. This is how the Red Sea was formed. Finally, what happens? The plates are so far enough now, you can see it is occupied by a wide ocean basin, but the magma rising up in the middle is causing the ridge formation, volcanic ridge here in the middle. Since it is under the water, it is called as oceanic ridges or mid-oceanic ridges. For example, we have mid-Atlantic ridge, one of the longest ridges in the world, and other oceanic ridges we have in the Indian Ocean as well as in Pacific Ocean. So please remember, friends, these ridges are formed because of the diverging plates in the middle of the ocean. So the name mid-oceanic ridges. So please remember this ridges. So these are the stages. So this is how the lithosphere spreads out. So always remember this. The convection current rises from the core mantle boundary here through the mantle. So the name mantle plume. As it comes up, it diverges a plate. It splits the plate into two, causing it to diverge. We all know that divergence in the middle causes the convergence on the other side. Here, convergence on the other side. So the converging here causes the plates to sink, causing subduction and trenches here, and the volcanic activity here, friends. So you have to remember the subduction, trenches on one side, and the other side the volcanic islands on the other side. So we will be discussing this. So all of you remember the convection currents. This is what is happening here below Africa. So African plate is splitting into two now. This particular part is in third stage, the rift valley, and this is in the second stage of the rift. You can see the rift valley here. In the rift valley, you can see large number of like lakes, linear lakes. So rift valley results in a formation of linear lakes. What is linear lakes? Means longitudinal lakes. You can see a linear sea is formed, a linear lakes are formed. Except Victoria, all the other lakes here are all rift valley lakes. Okay, Lake Tanganyika, Lake Nyasa, you can see small lakes here. Longitudinal or linear lakes are formed. Except Victoria Lake, all the other lakes are linear lakes here. Okay, so Nyiragongo here in the eastern Congo is an example of a stratovolcano in the Rift Valley. The other popular volcanoes here are Mount Kenya and Mount Kilimanjaro. Kilimanjaro is the highest peak of Africa, friends. It is a volcanic peak formed along the Rift Valley. Okay, you can see I have marked them here. Further, you can see this Africa in future. In future, when it reaches the fourth stage, you can see the sea is separating the Somali plate from the Nubian plate. Nubian plate here and the Somali plate here. This is Nubian plate. This is Somali plate. Okay, once again I'll write it here. You can see the names, friends, here. You can see the Somali plate here and the Nubian plate here. Okay, so they are diverging here. You can see the linear sea that is formed here. So this is Arabian plate this side. Arabian plate diverging from Africa. So you can see this is the image taken recently in Kenya. You can see the Rift Valley here and the people here who are watching the rift here. Friends, remember, this is how in future Africa is going to change. Okay, so this is a question we are expecting in the mains exam as well. So what is happening in the East African Rift Valley? So there are a series of earthquakes and volcanic activities along the Rift Valley here, okay, along this region. So all these are in news now. In future also this particular topic will be in news. We can expect large number of questions in prelims as well as mains examinations. So please make sure you make a note of this, how Eastern African region is witnessing series of earthquakes and volcanoes. So UPSC will be asking a question in prelims as well as in mains. Okay, so how Africa is splitting and how the geopolitical situation in Africa is going to change, correct? So this is a very important topic, friends. So another island that was in news is Tonga Island. So Tonga Island is located in the southwest Pacific Ocean. Here you can notice to the east of Fiji. Okay, so it's part of a plate called Tonga Plate. Okay, it's a microplate. Tonga Plate is a microplate. So you can notice here a series of island, Tonga Island. You can see three groups: Tonga Tapu, one group in the south, Hapai group in the middle, and Wavu group in the north. So recently there was a volcanic activity in the Hapai group. Okay, so it's like a submarine volcano erupted. So you would have seen the satellite images of this particular volcano. I'll also show that. You can see this submarine volcano that erupted in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, Southwest Pacific Ocean, causing a huge earthquake, as well as there was acid rain in the Tonga region. So large pyroclastic material was distributed, scattered across the South Pacific Ocean, blocking the entire airspace. It damaged the submarine fiber cables, as well as so there was tsunami alert as well in the Southwest Pacific Ocean, friends. So it led to large casualties in Tonga Island. So please remember, the volcano that erupted was Honga Hapai volcano. Okay, here in the Hapai group. So where is it exactly? It is located along the Tonga Kirimandak Ridge. So this is the Tonga Kirimandak volcanic ridge. So this is part of Tonga Kirimandak volcanic ridge, friends. This is very important. So this is a very important island, so to be remembered for the prelims. So just in case if they ask you, the Tonga Island consists of 169 island. I told you archipelago means group of islands. So 36 of them are inhabited. So the word Tonga also means friendly islands. So just in case if the UPSC asks you which of the following islands are known as friendly islands, so you should know the name. So where is this Tonga? Southwest Pacific Ocean. Okay, and it is part of Tonga Kirimandak ridge, volcanic ridge. So I'll be showing you the pictures, friend, here. Next is Ambae and Ambrym. Ambae and Ambrym are the other two volcanoes that are presently active. They are located in Vanuatu region. They are part of the Vanuatu Islands. Okay, they are also part of Melanesia, Oceania. Okay, so please remember, Oceania is a region here, tropical islands of Pacific Ocean. In that we have three groups: Micronesia, Melanesia, and Polynesia. This is Melanesia here, that is southern part, like Australia, Papua New Guinea are all part of the Melanesia, and Vanuatu is one of them. So many of the islands in Vanuatu region are also active as of now. So Ambrym and Ambae are the two volcanoes that we need to remember. Presently they are active, friends. So please locate Vanuatu islands here, and I want all of you to locate this Ambrym here. So these two are located here, Ambae and Ambrym. Okay, you can notice the place. Very important, very important. So what type of volcano is it? It is like a pyroclastic shield or ignimbrite shield. So when I say shield volcano, normally a shield volcano is formed by basic lava. fluid lava flow. It is a very silent eruption, effusive eruption, no explosions at all in the shield volcano. And shield volcano will have a very low gradient, like a 5-degree gradient, okay, normally. But when it's pyroclastic shield, it is considered to be explosive. Large amount of pyroclastic material comes out and deposits on either side of the volcano, forming a shield volcano. So these pyroclastic shield are basically very deadly, friends. Okay, so please remember pyroclastic shield. Pyro means fire, clastic means mixture of different volcanic bombs, ash, dust, different sized sediments, all comes out of the volcano. So pyroclastic shield volcano. Ambae and Ambrym, friends. Next is tuya. Tuya is basically a volcanic landforms. This is also in news, friends, remember. So tuyas are basically volcanic landforms which are formed when the volcano erupts under the ice or under the glacier. You can notice in this picture. So there is ice here, okay, ice. When the lava erupts through the ice, correct, it cools and solidifies rapidly, forming a landform, which is look like a plateau, right? It appears like a plateau, steep slope and a flat top. You can see some ice also on top, right? So such plateau-like landform formed under the ice, under the glaciers, are called as tuya. So these kind of landforms are very popular in Antarctica, Iceland, as well as in British Columbia part of Canada. So please remember I mentioned them here. Iceland, you can see Antarctica, British Columbia. British Columbia is in Canada. Okay, so I request you to remember this. Recently it was in news, so as a result they might ask what are tuyas. Okay, very interesting. Now, so this is the map of the Pacific Ocean, friends. I want you to see, this is the, we can call it as a bottom topography of Pacific Ocean. Okay, so you can see bottom topography here. You can see large number of sea mounts. The sea mounts are noticed here, the volcanic islands which are under the water, okay, and which are submerged under the water, called as guyards. Okay, they also can be seen here. So sea mounts and guyards and volcanic islands can be noticed here. So the one I just mentioned, the Vanuatu island is here in this region, here, okay, and Tonga Kermendak Trench is here. Tonga Trench, Kermendak Trench here, Vanuatu here. Okay, so remember these two places. Already I have shown you. Okay, very important, friends. You can see the Pacific plate here is a very important plate, friends. It is the largest major plate. It is the largest plate on Earth. So this Pacific plate is diverging away from Nazca here. You can see Nazca plate is this side. Nazca plate is colliding with South America, whereas Pacific plate is like this. So Pacific plate is moving in different directions like this, towards North America, towards Eurasian plate here, okay, towards Indo-Australian plate here. So this Pacific plate is colliding with the North American plate here. The Pacific plate being the oceanic plate, it is denser. As a result, it subducts under various plates here, causing trench, Aleutian trench here, Kuril trench, Kuril Islands, Kuril trench, Japan trench. You can see Mariana trench, Mariana Islands, Mariana trench. Here you can see Philippines, Mindanao trench, Indo-Australian plate here. Around the Indo-Australian plate you can see Tonga Kermendak trench, Hunter trench here. Like this, Pacific plate is responsible for large scale seismic activities around the Pacific plate boundary as well as volcanoes. So friends, remember, so this region around the Pacific we can see large number of volcanism and seismicity. As a result, this region is called as Pacific Ring of Fire. So this entire stretch, you can notice here the Nazca plate is diverging from Pacific, forming a ridge here, East Pacific rise. On the other side, the Nazca plate is colliding with South American plate here. Nazca plate being the oceanic plate subducts, forming Peru-Chile trench. On the other side of the trench we have Andean mountains, Cordillera of the Andes. You can see the ranges, Cordillera of the Andes here. Okay, please remember this. Subduction causes trench, and the other side the mountains, Cordillera of the Andes. Here Cocos plate, Here there is a small plate called Cocos Plate. The Cocos Plate is colliding with North American Plate, causing Guatemala Trench or Middle American Trench here. On the other side we have Rockies here. Here also you can notice the South American Plate here and North American Plate here. The Pacific Plate is colliding with the North American Plate, causing the trench here, Central American Trench, Aleutian Trench. On the other side there are Rocky Mountains here, okay, Rocky Mountains here, okay. And again you can see Aleutian Trench, Aleutian Islands, Kuril Trench, Japan Trench, Mariana Trench, Mindanao Trench. Like this series of trenches and islands are formed. So Pacific Plate is surrounded by large number of trenches and volcanic islands, friends. So we call this as Pacific Ring of Fire. Nearly 80% of the world's volcanoes are located here. So the highest volcanic activity and earthquake takes place here in the Pacific Ocean. So it is also known for submarine volcanoes and earthquakes which trigger tsunami. So highest number of tsunamis occur in Pacific Ocean. So please remember this. Okay. So Circum-Pacific Belt, also called as Circum-Pacific Belt or Pacific Ring of Fire. So please remember, friends. So it's a very important map you are seeing here. Now, further going to the next topic, we have a region called Macronesia. So friends, remember, we are not talking about Micronesia, we are not talking about Melanesia or Polynesia. Now we are talking about Macronesia. So you see the word Macronesia is a region located to the west of Africa. You can see Morocco here, Western Sahara here. To the west of African continent here, or northwestern part of African continent here, we have small island groups here, volcanic islands. Okay, all these are part of the ridge, submarine volcanic ridge here. So these islands, most of them are part of Portugal as well as part of Spain here. Okay, Spain and Portugal, they are part of Spain and Portugal, like Azores, all of you heard of Portugal. Madeira Islands, Portugal. You can see Canary Islands here, Portugal. Cape Verde is an independent country here, you can notice that. All these 4 group of islands, archipelagos, are part of Macronesia here. Okay, please remember, so volcanic archipelago located to the west of Africa. So all of you should remember this, very important. Okay, so these are basically, most of them are volcanic seamounts and guyards. Guyards are flat topped seamounts under the water. When they are under the water, buried under the water, they are called as guyards. If they are above, this is normally called as seamounts. Okay, so these are basically volcanic islands. They are all part of the submarine volcanic ridge. Okay, so our interest is this Canary Islands here, because recently there was volcanic activity in Canaries, La Palma Island. So all of you see here, La Palma. So all of you see this, Canary Islands. So you can notice the island here, location is off the coast of Morocco. It's a volcanic island. So volcanic island before the volcano and during the volcano. You can see the pictures here. So please remember, friends. So this particular island is located on Cumbre Vieja volcanic ridge. It's a Spanish. Remember, Canary is part of Spain. So this is Spanish name, Cumbre, and Vieja. It's pronounced as Vieja. Vieja in Spanish. It's pronounced as Vieja. Okay, Cumbre Vieja volcanic ridge. It is part of the Macronesian region. It's a type of hotspot volcano. Hotspot volcano. I'll show you what are hotspot volcano now. So I want you to see this. So you can see the core mantle boundary here. I told you already what happens here in the core mantle boundary. You can see the heat from the core mantle boundary rises up through the mantle. Through the mantle you can see the heat rising up. Okay, as it rises up you can see this region, it starts melting the plates from below, lithosphere, and gradually the magma rises up to form a volcanic island. Since the plates are all moving here, so the series of volcanic islands are all formed. You can see the heat is rising here, heat is rising through this region. You can see the heat is rising up, you can see here, as it rises to the surface the magma heats up the plate from below, the plate starts cracking from below, causing ridges, small fractures, dikes develop, faults develop, through which the magma rises up, causing volcanism slowly. Okay, So please remember this. The heat is rising up gradually, melts the plate from below, fractures develop, faults develop, okay, many dikes intrude into the lithosphere, magma gradually comes out, causing volcano. I'll show you next. Next, please notice this. You can notice this, friends. You can see the magma rising up here, through which the volcanic activity can be noticed here. Okay. So please remember, the heat that is rising up causes the volcanic activity to form. So you can see again, since the lithosphere is moving now, so this particular volcano shifts. As a result, the next volcano is formed here. The magma keeps continuing like this, one after the other. So series of island arcs are formed. So this is what I was trying to play. You can see this was here earlier, correct? Because of the plate movement here, slowly, the series of volcanic islands were formed. All these volcanoes gradually, these becomes extinct over the period of time. These will be active. So this is how most of the volcanic islands are formed in a series. Okay, these are called as hotspot volcanoes, like Hawaii, for example. They are the example of this. Okay, so the Hawaiian volcanoes are like this. So please remember this. So they are basically hotspot volcano. So this is what happening in the Canary region also. Okay, so the plate movement is gradually causing the volcanic islands to form. So please remember. Friends, we have discussed all the important volcanoes which are in use for the last few months. We are expecting these questions to come in prelims as well as mains. So please watch my Power 500 class, wherein I will be discussing entire plate tectonics as well as geomorphology, friends. So I request you to make a note of all the current affairs topics that I have explained here. At the same time, I request you to watch my Power 500 class as well. In Power 500, we will be taking up all the topics in detail which are going to appear in the prelims paper. Apart from that, friends, I am conducting special classes on Indian geography. I request you all to attend that, and also I am conducting a plus course of all the important topics from NCERT 6th to 12th, and please enroll using my code MUPSC. I hope all of you enjoyed the class, friends. I request you all to attend the classes regularly and make sure you leave your valuable feedback to us. Wish you all the best, friends. Thank you.
Unacademy. Let's crack it.